Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Philly.
The Halos have put it all together versus Oakland over the last two games, and their starting pitching has been stellar. Today, the Angels look to gain even more ground in the West, and the brooms are out as they go for the series sweep. A's Angels next. Slightly overcast skies here on this Sunday afternoon. It is photo day at the Big A as the Angels and the Oakland Athletics wrap up this three-game set. Hi, everybody, from inside the Big A and alongside my broadcast partner, Mark Gubazon, Victor Rojas. So glad you could join us once again for Angels baseball here at Fox Sports West. And as we just pointed out to you, the Angels, over the last two games, have had spectacular pitching, whether it's been starting, middle relief, or even closing. It has been lights out over the first two games.
Yeah, Victor, you need to have that against this Oakland club. They don't give you many opportunities to score, so as a pitching staff, on the whole, you have to go out there and throw a lot of strikes, and that has certainly been the case, especially the starting rotation. Jared Weaver set the tone game one, did very, very well. Then CJ did unbelievable. His slider was unhittable last night. Ernesto with his 94, 95 mile an hour fastball able to finish off both games. So the reality is right now you have to go out and pitch well. And Jerome's a guy that, especially at home here at the Big A, keep the ball down, work that ground ball magic. First pitch strike, finish off with your secondary pitches.
Yeah, it's not as if the Halos have scored a ton of runs against Oakland, especially against that very good pitching staff, but they've gotten enough to pick up the wins. They will have their hands full tonight, though, with the all-star Bartolo Colon out on the hill for the Athletics. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A, so sit back and relax. We're going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return. First TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-ATT. Rethink possible. By CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax. Start here. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. We welcome you back out to the big game. Yeah, it is still a little overcast, but a little warm this afternoon as the Angels and the Oakland A's play in the finale of this three-game set. Halos looking for the series sweep. They will have their hands full with Bartolo Colon on the hill. You see the Halos have taken the field already, wearing the pearly white uniforms as they did last night. And we'll check out Bob Melvin starting 9 for the Oakland A's. This game number 98 for them, still atop the division with a 56-41 record. They will have Coco Crisp leading things off. He's the DH today. Seth Smith is in left field. Jet Lowry, the shortstop. Josh Donaldson back in that cleanup spot at third base. Brandon Moss at first. John Jaso's doing the catching. Josh Reddick in right. Chris Young gets a start in center. And Eric Sogard will bat ninth and play second base. So for the third consecutive game, no Yoenis Cespedes still battling that sore left wrist. The A's taking on Jerome Williams, looking to bounce back still with a 5-5 mark and a 4.60 ERA.
And the important thing for Jerome, he's back into his normal routine as a starter. He has plenty of time in between starts to get his workout in, his bullpen session. Work that fastball down in the strike zone, 92 to 94 range, very good. Cut fastball, changeup, curveball, slider. Should get a lot of ground ball outs today.
Let's check out the defense for the Angels behind Jerome Williams this afternoon. J.B. Shuck is in left, Mike Trout in center, Josh Hamilton in right. The infield consists of Alberto Callaspo, Eric Ibar, Howie Kendrick, and Mark Trumbo. And after a night off, Chris Inetta is back behind the plate.
And speaking of getting those ground balls, Howie Kendrick should be very busy here in this game with Jerome on the hill. First 25 games at second base, 5 errors. In the last 68, though, 4 errors for Howie Kendrick. 51 double plays turned by Howie.
Halos picking up the shutout win last night, 2-0 over Oakland. Game 1 was a 4-1 win. Jared Weaver picked up his 4th win on Friday. C.J. Wilson, a spectacular 8 1/3 last night. 3 hits, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks as he picked up his 10th win of the season. Ernesto Frieri closing out both of those games, so he's now with 24 saves on the year. Coco Crisp leading things off. He's the DH, as we pointed out. Takes it down and away for ball 1. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Went 0 for 4 last night. 259 batting average. 9 home runs, 35 runs batted in. The Aswell playing in on the grass as Coco takes outside. And it is 2-0.
And the thing with Jerome, he doesn't want to start that two-seam fastball on the corner. Start middle part of the plate and then run away.
Time was called. That's a no pitch. No pitch. Second base umpire Tom Hallion immediately called time as that pitch was being delivered. A baseball is out on the warning track at left center field, so Trout has to go out there and pick it up. So it's still a 2-ball, no strike count.
Important guy to keep off the base if you're Jerome Williams, Coco Crisp. He ignites the offense, very good speed.
Now the 2-0. There's a strike. 2-1. The lights are on here at the Big A. No threat of rain, at least that we've been told of. Foul back, 2-2. Big swing by Coco.
If Jerome, you go right back with that same two-seam fastball. Force him to hit the ball on the ground.
Looped into the seats. Play. And a fan of the front row of the club seats. Count remains at 2-2. Jerome, the last time out, lasted 68 pitches against Seattle. That was on the 12th. 6 runs, 7 hits, and 3 1/3. Chris takes downstairs, and that's a full count. Seth Smith, the left fielder, is on deck. Halos with the win last night, now 26-25 here at home. A loss for Oakland, which is their road record to an even 500. 3-2, foul back. A little late action on that pitch.
And Jerome definitely has that good sink action. So again, trust the movement. Middle part of plate, keep it down.
Another 3-2, and he walked him. Not the guy you want to put on base. Speedy Coco Crisp is on board. Brings up Seth Smith, and we will check out our Hyundai key to the game.
Poison today, ride the wind. Going to go with the momentum. First 2 games, the pitching staff has been outstanding. Up to Jerome to be able to set the tone. Obviously, it's going to be a more difficult task with Coco on the base right here early on. But he certainly has that ability to get a ground ball double play, which would be important right now.
24th appearance of the year for Jerome, 13th start. Facing the left-hand hitting Seth Smith. Pinch hit last night, drew a walk. There's a strike. Smith hitting .264, has 6 home runs, 32 runs batted in. He faced Ernesto Frieri with 2 outs in the 9th inning last night, drew the walk. And then Frieri struck out Jaso to finish off the game. Crisp looks like he's leaning, doesn't go as Smith takes a big rip, fouls it back. 0-2. Coco, the team leader in stolen bases with 15. He's been caught 4 times. Oakland overall 11th in the American League in that category with 49 bags. Halo's just behind them with 45.
Not a bad time to put a pitch out on too. 0-2.
Inetta sets up inside. Sith bounces it foul up the first baseline. Count still at no balls, 2 strikes.
Trying to run that 2-seam fastball off the hip of Seth Smith and catch the corner.
Manager Bob Melvin, 3rd year at the helm. Also managed Seattle and Arizona. Leadoff walk to Coco Crisp, stands at first base. Smith rolls this one softly to second. Now he's only plays to first. 1 away. Good off speed pitch, but hit slowly enough where Crisp can advance and put himself into scoring position.
It had Smith out in front. Do a nice changeup. See a difference in the rotation of the changeup as compared to a 2-seam fastball. Smith out in front, rolls over, hit a ground ball to Howie to get the first out. Now, if you're Jerome, vary your look to second base. This is the base where Coco is very comfortable trying to steal his 3rd base. Tries to time the pitcher, get a running start.
Ibar trying to keep Coco close to the bag. The first one to Lowry, lifted in the air to left center field. Shuck and Trout both giving chase. Trout calls off Shuck, makes the catch. There's out number 2, and Coco stays at second base. He thought that ball was going to drop in there.
Serious coverage in the outfield by Mike Trout, able to get to that baseball. Looked off the bat that it would be more of an opportunity for J.B. Shuck to go run that one down. Playing almost to right center field, Trout, but still that blazing speed runs it down, makes it look easy. Getting a second out of the inning. That communication, tell him right away so J.B. Shuck could be out of the way and be back behind him, protect in case the ball got away.
And with a man at second base, much easier play for the center fielder cutting across opposed to the left fielder going out towards center field.
Pretty surprised that Coco didn't go back to the base, because he's going to score if that ball falls in anyhow with his speed from second.
So 2 outs, Crisp still at second base. Here's Josh Donaldson, the 3rd baseman. First one's fouled back. Donaldson 0 for 4 last night. .306 batting average, 16 home runs, 61 runs batted in. 1 hit in the series. It was an infield single Friday night. A dangerous hitter. And the one thing that you don't want to see from Jerome Williams is fly ball outs.
Now you want to see lots of ground ball outs like the first out he got with Howie on that slow roller to him. Now Jerome's mindset has to be Donaldson, because you already have 2 outs. Even if Coco steals 3rd base, it doesn't matter. If you get the out, he will not score. With 1 out and he steals 3rd, it's a different story. He can score on a ground ball or a fly ball.
0-1 pitch to Donaldson. Looped out towards shallow right. Josh Hamilton Comes racing in. The inning comes to an end. Leadoff walk, stranded in scoring position. We'll head to the bottom of the first. It'll be Shuck, Trout, and Pujols to face Bartolo Colon with no score. Score as we start the bottom of the first inning. We'll check out Mike Scioscia starting 9 for the Halos this afternoon. 46 and 49, third place in the West, 9 games back. J.B. Shuck will lead things off at left. Mike Trout in center. Albert Pujols to DH. Josh Hamilton in right. Howie Kendrick at second. It's Mark Trumbo at first. Alberto Callasco at third. Chris Iannetta is doing the catching. Eric Ivaro back nine to play shortstop, taking on the former Halo himself. And 12-game winner, Bartolo Colon.
Bartolo Colon, fastball 88 to 93. A lot of fastball, slider, changeup. 10 and 6 in his career versus his former teammates, the Angels.
First one's in for a strike.
Does not waste any time either. He's standing on that pitching rubber, throws a lot of fastballs, tries to keep the ball down.
Donaldson playing in against Shuck, who fouls this one back, and it's an 0-2 count.
Very similar pitchers. If they're giving up fly balls, that means they're not locating their fastball well, and there could be some runs scored.
JB last night 1 for 4, had a hustle double his last plate appearance, hitting .293. 1-2 as Bartolo looked down at the ground after delivering that pitch. His last start was on July 14th against Boston. Got a no decision. That game went 11 innings. Shuck fouls it off to the left. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bartolo did his part. 2 runs, 8 hits, 6 1/3 for him. Had 4 strikeouts. Not going to overwhelm you with the strikeouts. We'll give up some hits, but he certainly bears down with men on base, particularly men in scoring position.
Generally keeps the ball in the ballpark. He's only allowed 9 home runs this season.
Another 1-2, line to left field. Smith played Shuck perfectly, makes the grab for the first out. Defensively for Oakland this afternoon, Smith, Young, and Reddick in the outfield from left to right. The infield consists of Donaldson, Lowry, Sogard, and Moss from third to first. Jaso behind the plate.
Very similar with Jerome Williams. Bartolo Colon gets a lot of ground balls, but Jed Lowry should be very busy in the shortstop position. Is committed 11 errors in that position this year. .957 fielding percentage.
Mike Trout at the plate. 1 out, nobody on. First one is off the plate for ball 1. Trout 1 for 3 last night, extending his hitting streak to 12 games. Now tied for his career longest. Did it last July. Set it last July. 1-1.
Trout 3 for 7 against Colon, including a home run.
One pitch. This is out toward right field. Reddick moves back a couple of steps, is there. Puts it away. 2 outs.
So both pitchers, a number of fly balls already in the game. Could be because of the fact it's been
6-7 days out between their starts. When you're a sinker ball pitcher, you're a little bit stronger. You hump up on the fastball a little bit more so, and it elevates.
So bases clear for Albert Pujols to DH. Back-to-back multi-hit games for Albert. 2 for 4 last night. .255 batting average. They play 3 infielders on the left side. Sogard just on the shortstop side of second base.
The ideal, if you're a ground ball type pitcher, you want to be even not as strong. You want to actually be weaker because you can get that sinker down.
That is yanked foul down the line and into the seats. One ball, one strike. Two balls and a strike. Bartolo with 12 wins at the All-Star break match, the most by an Oakland pitcher since before the break, since '91. Older at 12 and 04 as well as 03. 40 years of age. 2-1. Off speed. Another one that's yanked foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Get a lot of pitches up in the strike zone early on. Pujols with good numbers against Cologne also. 5 for 12 with a home run.
Two outs, no score, nobody on. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Albert. Two. A little two-seamer away. It catches the outside corner. It's a full count with Hamilton on deck.
Yeah, that pitch can freeze a right-handed batter because you see it as a hitter. You think it's off the plate, but then he brings around that outside corner.
22nd career start for Bartolo against the Angels. 3-2. This is bounced to the left side. Donaldson cuts it off. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Bartolo Colon. 1 in the books here at the Big A, and we are scoreless. So Reddick coming up against Jerome Williams as we take a look at the standings. New American League West. Oakland still atop the division. 2-game lead over Texas. Texas will play a little bit later on. The Halos 9 back tomorrow through Wednesday. Minnesota Twins will roll into town, and the Halos head out on the road. Tough road trip. 4 in Oakland and 3 in Arlington.
Yeah, certainly going to be a tough road trip. An opportunity to make up a lot of ground against the teams ahead of you.
15 pitches thrown by Jerome in the first inning, 11 strikes. With the leadoff walk, but then worked around it. Brandon Moss went over 2 last night, hitting 228 on the year. 16 home runs, 44 driven home. Looks at the strike. 0-2.
Much better feel for that two-seam fastball running on the inside corner.
Howie out in shallow right field. Oh, it almost hits Moss.
And most times, if you're a left-handed batter, you're going to think a right-handed pitcher after that pitch inside catches the corner, you're going to go away. You can tell he was looking out over the plate.
This one lifted in the air to shallow left. Eric Ibar got a good jump out. Ball's off. J.B. Shuck puts it away for the first down. Hey, folks, on Tuesday, the Angels will take on the Twins, as we just pointed out. It's a 7:05 start. Fans in attendance will receive the Surfin' Rally Monkey, courtesy of Yokohama, while supplies last. Purchase your tickets at Angels.com or by visiting the Angels Stadium ticket office.
Surfing. Big surfing match down there at Huntington Beach right now.
A lot of surfing, a lot of beach volleyball next week, too. The ASICS World Series
I like
of
it.
beach volleyball.
I like it.
Long Beach. John Jaso takes low for ball 1. Jaso, the catcher, 266, couple of home runs, 20 runs batted in. Pitch hit last night and struck out to end the game. I believe in the count. Tampa Bay Ray, Seattle Mariner, acquired in the offseason to trade with Seattle. 2 balls and a strike.
What we've seen in the first couple of games against the Oakland hitters, get ahead with the fastball and finish them off with breaking pitches and changeups.
Three balls and 1 strike. And they will certainly take their walks. Borderline pitch, unless it's with 2 strikes. They will more than happy to take the free pass. 3-1 pitch on the corner, full count.
Yeah, they definitely don't chase many pitches out of the strike zone when they're ahead of the count. But when you get ahead of the count, we saw it last night with an outstanding job by CJ. He swung at pitches out of the zone.
Sharply hit. Howie falls down as he goes to the backhand. Still throws out Jaso for out number 2. That's the tricky part about playing out at shallow right. You think you have a little bit more time, but if you've got to move to your left or right, you've got to quicken things up.
And the baseball bounces differently in the grass as compared to being on the dirt as an infielder. So it's a different reaction for you, for Howie and for Eric Ibar. Whenever they play in that outfield grass, they try to backhand. It's a different feel, different hop.
2 up and 2 down, and Josh Reddick, the right fielder, steps in now. 3 infielders on the right side against Reddick. Reddick last night went 0 for 3 with 3 punch outs at the stirrup showing last night. And after the hat trick, decided to put the pant legs all the way back down. Lofts this one foul and out of play. And evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Reddick struggling this year. .217 batting average, 4 home runs, 32 runs batted in. And a lot of off-speed pitches against Reddick. Bouncer to the left side with the overshift. Callaspo's got it. 1-2-3 inning for Jerome. We'll head to the bottom of the second here at the Big A. Still scoreless. face Bartolo Colon. That himself a 1-2-3 inning. Jerome coming off a 1-2-3 inning himself. 2
ground ball outs, which was important to see from Jerome.
Josh Hamilton, 0 for 3 last night. Had a sac fly, picking up his 41st run batted in. Batting average of .225. 14 home runs, 19 doubles, and a couple of triples. First one up and in for ball 1. Cal leave it up and a ball and a strike. Hamilton 1 for 8 in his career against Cologne. 3 punch outs. Ibar, Callaspo, Pujols, Trout, good numbers. This one skied to straightaway center field, playable. Chris Young. One away. Bring up Howie Kendrick. Give us an opportunity to check out our AT&T Twitter poll question of the series. What did Hank Conger do on his All-Star break? Hunt, lay out, or do his laundry? Laundry was leading the charge over the first 2 games of the series. We will give you the updated total a little bit later on in the game. Send us your tweet at Fox Sports West.
Boy, Hank did a tremendous job with CJ last night.
CJ had everything working. Had a bump in the road in that 8th inning. Issuing a couple of walks, but worked his way around it. Now he fouls it back, and it's an 0-2 count. Kendrick with a couple of hits last night, 2 for 4. 3-11 with 11 home runs, 40 RBIs. And lost in all of that last night was the fact that Dan Straley threw the ball exceptionally well for Oakland. 1-2 now. 7 innings. 2 runs, 8 hits, including the home run to Callaspo, 4 strikeouts.
Like we talked in the pregame show and even in the opening, Oakland doesn't give you many opportunities to score. That's why it's so important. If you're a pitcher for the Angels, you have to think in those terms also. It'll be a tight, low-scoring game.
First strikeout of the afternoon for Bartolo. 2 outs here in the second. Mark Trumbo coming up. And neither side really has capitalized with men in scoring position in this series. Oakland 1 for 11, the Angels 1 for 13. Matter of fact, Oakland now 1 for 13 themselves with that first inning as Chris got over to second base on the ground out by Smith. That's 5 straight games for the Angels now in which they've struggled situationally. The last good game that they had was that big game, long ball wise, against the Chicago Cubs. They were 4 for 8 with men in scoring position at Wrigley.
Very streaky when it comes to that category for the Angels this year.
2 balls, no strikes on Trumbo. 1 for 3 last night. Taylor's hitting .262 on the season with men in scoring position. Two balls and 1 strike. Two-1 to Trumbo. Pulls that one foul. Pinball action inside that Angels dugout.
That's no fun to be in the dugout right at that spot. Not anticipating a baseball be hit that quickly where you're standing in the entryway of the dugout.
Two. A slow roller to second. Got in his kitchen with that fastball. Another 1-2-3 inning for Cologne. 2 in the books here at Angel Stadium. Scoreless.
0, top of the third, but in between innings, Mike Butcher and Jerome Williams talking about what they're going to try to do against these Oakland hitters, especially the lefties. What are you saying is that fastball in, because they're looking out over the plate. He backed up that fastball against Moss with another fastball in, so that opens up the outer part of the plate. That's something that Mike Butcher preaches a lot. If you go inside with a fastball, back it up again with a fastball, then you have that outer part of the plate open for you.
8-9-1 for Oakland here in the third. Chris Young takes inside for ball one. Young, Sogard, and Crisp for the Athletics. Third straight game for Chris Young in the lineup. For the injured Yoenis Cespedes as he shoots this one down the line. That's going to go for extra bases. Smith with good speed. Heading to second base. Hamilton plays the Karen cleanly, and it's a leadoff double for Chris Young. His 12th of the year.
Just kind of flicked that in the right field. From a cut fastball or a slider that didn't have a lot of break to it in the outer half, and just punch that down the right field line. With Sogard up and his ability to bunt, and Oakland struggling to score runs, you might see him square around here. So Jerome has to be ready. Same thing with Callaspo at third base.
Sogard had the night off last night with Grant Green getting the start at second, but did have a couple of base hits Friday night. Doesn't show bunt. Takes downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Sogard hitting .259, has a home run and 13 runs batted in. Callaspo, Trumbo, corner infielders both playing in. That is hit in the air to deep right field. Josh Hamilton giving chase, pulls up, and that is gone. A 2-run home run for Eric Sogard, second of the year. And Oakland strikes first. They lead at 2-0.
Boy, Sogard jumped all over that pitch by Jerome. Not located well. Sogard now 3 for 4 in his career versus Jerome Williams. Boy, location missed by a lot by Jerome. Wanted a fastball away, but it stayed middle part of the plate. Sogard jumps on that one, hits it out. Oakland with an early lead.
Nobody out, top of the order now. Coco Crisp at the plate. It's also the 14th home run that Jerome has allowed in 94 innings. Not good for a sinker baller as Coco grounds this one to Kendrick. It becomes that much more difficult when you're facing a guy like Bartolo. As we talked last weekend in Seattle, you're facing Felix Hernandez or Hisashi Iwakuma. You're the starting pitcher. It's your job to kind of keep things in check, and fine. You gave up the home run. No more than that, because it is a tough task against a guy like Colon.
Yeah, your mindset is, as a starter, and you're facing a guy who's an all-star. It's been very good this season in Bartolo Colon. You know you're not facing him as far as he's not going to grab a bat against you. But you know you're not going to score a ton of runs against him, so you have to have the mindset, put up a lot of zeros.
Smith 0 for 1 and grounded out to Kendrick in the first. Jerome got him on the off-speed pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's a dangerous pitch from Jerome there too. Missed location on the fastball, and Smith had a pretty good swing at it. You want to stay down, get those ground ball outs if you're Jerome Williams.
And good velocity, but up in the strike zone. 1 and 2. Another pitch that was up. Good location on that one. Smith just got a piece of it to keep his at-bat alive.
And a lot of times Jerome, after he throws a cut fastball in like that, will back it up with a 2-seam fastball, try to catch the inside corner. But Smith looks like he's looking on the inner half against him right now. I think you're better off running a little two-seamer down and away.
Two balls, two strikes. Chris Cuccione calling the balls and strikes this afternoon. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Smith. 2 down. First strikeout for Jerome.
Coming up later in the game, we'll have the Carl's Jr. Sports Update around Major League Baseball. Give you the headlines. The aces are wild. A number of big-time aces on the hill today in Major League Baseball. And the brooms are out. An opportunity for teams to jump out to that second half with some sweeps. Tampa Bay continues to play well. They're about ready to sweep Toronto.
Seattle seems like they're positioned to finish off the Houston Astros. They're up 10-0 in the 6th. So Lowry takes inside for ball 1. Shortstop hit a fly ball to left center field that was tracked down by Trout in his first plate appearance. So he's 0 for 1. Oakland leading at 2-0. A double by Young and a home run by Sogard. It came leading off this 3rd inning. Taylor still looking for their first base runner. Lowen has faced 6. He's retired all 6. Two balls, one strike. This one out toward right center field. Trout was shading Lowry that way. The inning comes to an end. So Jerome settles down after the home run, retires the next 3, but the Angels play from behind as we head to the bottom of the 3rd, down 2-0.
Last night, Roberto Callaspo, who had been playing outstanding defense during the course of the game, it's a solo shot to right center field. 5th home run of the season. Turned on that pitch on the inner half, which is very quick. Something elevated inside.
Callas wide at an Ibar. It's Bartolo Colon delivers a strike. 1 for 3 last night was Callas with that 5th home run. Average of 269. His 34 runs batted in. Takes upstairs. Evens up the count. Bartolo with 1 strikeout, no walks. 3 fly ball outs, 2 ground outs. This one's popped up. Shallow center field. Sean comes in. 1 away. Off speed pitch from Colon, which is saying a lot considering he is a prevalent fastball guy. He's got all the pitches. I mean, he can if he wants to, but for the most part, doesn't really adjust unless hitters Start knocking him around a little bit with the fastball.
Yeah, when we look at the percentages of pitches he throws, I mentioned it earlier today, 84% of his pitches are fastballs. But when his fastball isn't quite as consistent, then he starts mixing more changeups and sliders.
So 84% of the time he's 100% fastballs.
Exactly. Yes, Yogi. That's still one of the all-time quotes.
Iannetta loops one back up the middle. There's the first base runner of the game for the Angels. Iannetta with a one-out single puts a man on for Ibar.
Bartolo Colon will break some bats. That one definitely was broken. That two-seam fastball runs it in. Iannetta strong enough to get it by Colon and into the outfield.
Iannetta's first appearance against Bartolo Colon results in a base hit. It snaps an 0 for 12 for him. And here's Ibar, the man on. Eric 6 for 19 in his career against Bartolo. Donaldson playing into third. 1-0. Eric last night 0 for 3. 3 fly ball outs for him. Take it to batting average 287 with 4 home runs, 35 runs batted in. 13 doubles and a couple of triples. Two and 0.
A lot of pitches still up for Colon. Has not quite made that adjustment with his fastball down. And that's your job as a hitter against him. Force him up in the strike zone. If he starts that two-seamer at the knees, it's going to go below there, and he's going to get a lot of ground ball outs.
This is a broken bat looper into the seats on the first base side. 2-1. Took the third bat. Now, brother. If we're keeping track.
Yeah, he's such good movement on his pitches. Pitches inside very well. He's going to live on the outside part of the plate as much as possible, but when he runs the fastball in, both the lefties and righties, it's right at your handle or your bat.
Oakland with 2 runs to the top of the inning, courtesy of the Eric Sogard 2-run shot. Second home run of the year. Two-one count on Ibar with 1 out. Iannetta at first. 3-1. It's like Kelowna a little quick right now from the stretch.
A little bit different when he's out of the stretch. We've seen that in the past. He gets in a good rhythm, has a full windup, a lot of quick outs, different out of the stretch. It's more so slide steps, a lot of pitches. He makes some mistakes doing that.
And there's a walk. So 2 on now with 1 away. JB Shuck coming to the plate.
There's one thing you wonder about Bartolo Colon at times. He's having a slide step there with Chris Iannetta at first base. No reason for him to do so. As a pitcher, that's when you want to gather yourself, get better balance over the pitching rubber, and not worry about being so quick to the plate.
See if he does that here with runners at first and second now. Donaldson will play in. Shuck 0 for 1. Hit a lazy fly ball out to Seth Smith, the left fielder, back in the first inning. See the averages with men on versus the bases empty. JB chases what probably would have been ball 1 up and out of the strike zone. Instead it's 0-1. Tough pitch for a little guy to get on top of to drive. Otherwise it results in a pop-up.
Yeah, you want something down where you can hit on the line. Very difficult to hit on the line when it's elevated like that.
He did so last night in his last plate appearance for that little double out to right center. Takes a strike. It's 0-2.
Boy, sometimes as a hitter, you chase a pitch up and out of the strike zone, then you take a fastball right in the middle of the plate. Now you got to think in terms of I got to try to fight my way back in the count, Shuck's very good at doing that.
0-2. Ground ball towards short. Lowry to Sogard for one lead on the first, and it's dug out of the dirt. Inning-ending double play. We played 3 here at the Big A. Oakland maintains a 2-0 lead. Kids Club presented by Farrell's Ice Cream Parlor Restaurants is accepting members. Members receive a Mike Trout jersey, 2 ticket vouchers, gifts, and more. Sign up today at angels.com/juniorangels or at any Southern California Farrell's locations. You a big fan?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I think you could sport that Mike Trout jersey.
Yes.
Kid size. Much like the Jared
Weaver
jersey with 2 years
that
ago.
That was a good look.
Oh, it was a slimming look on you.
No question.
Those poor buttons. Screaming. There's Jared, picked up win number 4 Friday night. Josh Donaldson takes inside for ball 1 to start this 4th inning. Donaldson, Moss, and Jaso against Jerome Williams. Jerome settled down after giving up the 2 extra base hits in the 3rd inning to retire the next 3 guys. Now one on the corner. Evens up the count. Donaldson hit a fly ball to shallow right field that Hamilton caught in the 1st inning. So Josh 0 for 1. 2 hits for Oakland, 1 for the Angels. Donaldson got jammed, pops it up behind the plate. It'll land down in the seats. Donaldson goes down swinging. 1 out, 2nd strikeout for Jerome.
A well located fastball up and in. It's a swing and miss. A great location, Donaldson. Very good as far as hitting the pitch on the inner half of the plate, but that fastball had some good running action from Jerome. 2nd strikeout of the game.
Jones feeling pretty good with that fastball. 93, 94 times. Just a little loop route to left center field. Nobody's going to get this one. It's going to fall in there as Moss was jammed on it. And it's a 1-out single for Moss.
I still feel that Jerome is best served with 90-91 on his fastball. 93, 94, not quite as much movement. Yes, it's a firmer fastball, but he's got much better movement at 90-91. A lot more ground ball out, so he's able to keep that ball down.
So a man on with one out. Jaso at the plate. Just ignore those numbers on your screen. We're not even going to address them. You can look at them if you want. Jaso grounded out to Kendrick. His first time up, so he's 0 for 1.
That does mean he's made it at least half an out. You know, he makes outs half the time, so that's what we're going to think in terms of this is the time he makes an out, preferably into a ground ball double play.
Glass half full kind of guy that you are.
Yes, indeed.
Moss with a decent lead over at first base. Mason takes the off-speed pitch down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 punch outs, 1 walk. Now 3 hits allowed by Jerome. Jaso had the start Friday night. Ended up going 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. The pinch hitting that he did last night. Quick throw over.
Pretty good guy to put a hit and run on if Jaso makes a lot of contact. Moss has 2 stolen bases in 3 attempts this season. Bob Melvin may indeed have him moving here.
Jaso loops one over the head of Kayasma to shallow left. Moss will round second. Stop right there. Shuck got a good jump on it and keeps Moss, the base runner, at second. So 2 on now with 1 out. Josh Reddick coming up.
Well, a fastball away, just went with the pitch. Not hit particularly well by Jaso, but he was looking to hit the ball that way. Fortunately enough, there wasn't a hit and run put on. Otherwise, Moss will be at third base.
Reddick grounded out to Alberto Kayasma the second. Over 1. Out in front of the off speed. He's got a piece of it. It's an 0-1 count.
Reddick walking around that batter's box a lot, trying to get a feel. An opportunity for Jerome to expand the strike zone against him. Got a lot of confidence in him right now. Make sure you make a quality pitch against him, though.
Pretty good help.
Yeah, that's not the spot you want to throw Reddick, because you have him in position. He's chasing a lot of pitches. We've seen that throughout the course of this series. Going in with a fastball, it was right down the heart of the plate, and he had a pretty good swing at it.
Moss at second, Jaso at first, 1 out, 2-0 Oakland here in the 4th. 0-2 on the way. Breaking pitch, checked the swing. Jerome wants it appealed, did not go. Kuzzi, the third base umpire. Ball on 2 strikes. 56 pitches thrown by Jerome, 38 have been strikes. Two. With a good crowd here on the Sunday afternoon.
That'll be some odd weather.
Yeah. Well, June gloom still. Towards the end of July.
Some rain, a little bit of rain even today.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Reddick. 2 down. Third strikeout of the game for Jerome. Stayed away from him.
Good decision where you want to go with that fastball away after that mistake. That one, the second pitch of the at bat, right down the middle, went 2-seamer away.
There's Chris Young, who doubled leading off the last inning. Takes a breaking ball outside. Don't see too many of those breaking pitches from Jerome today. Double for Young, his 12th of the year. Came around to score on the Sogard home run. Still no Cespedes, dealing with that sore left wrist. Not played in this series. Originally slated to start. And even took batting practice Friday. But a late scratch. Young got the start. Out in left field the first two games. In center today with Coco Crisp serving as a DH. Moss with a big lead at second. Jaso's over at first. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike, 1-1. There's Cespedes.
Put a tremendous show on at the All-Star Game Home Run Derby.
292 last year with 23 home runs in his rookie season. Average considerably down.
A good idea what Jerome has been doing in the majority of this game, dropping that wrist at that angle creates lateral movement, setting on top of the fastball, working down in the strike zone.
Breaking pitch. Cut on and miss, 2-2.
That backed up on him. It might have been a cut fastball from Jerome. Cut fastball slider, similar type of break, but it stays in the middle of the strike zone. A dangerous location of that one.
Good power for Young, but the propensity to strike out as well. All right, now to set up outside. Now the 2-2. Oh, he almost got that little two-seamer to run back and catch the corner. It's a full count.
Just off the plate, it looked like. Well, they're getting that corner coming back around.
Chris Cuccione has not been calling the corners for either guy.
You know, Phil Cousy was calling a lot of those pitches last night.
Moss and Jaso will be off with the pitch now with a full count of 2 outs. 2-0 Oakland here in the 4th. Runners go. 3-2 swing and a miss. Down goes Young as Jerome picks up 3 strikeouts here in the 4th. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Halo still down 2-0. I want to remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Nice job by Jerome to work around the back-to-back hits with 1 out, picking up 3 strikeouts. Has 4 overall punch-outs in the game with 1 walk. The Angels will have 2, 3, and 4 coming up here in the fourth. Trout, Pujols, and Hamilton against Bartolo Colon, who has 1 strikeout, 1 walk, and 1 hit allowed. Trout hit a fly ball to right field in the first inning, 0 for 1 today. He takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Colon a little bit of a delay there, thinking that perhaps he was going to get that call.
And you're not getting many borderline pitches in this game.
2 balls, no strikes. Did you consider Bartolo Colon a quote-unquote recoiler
Definitely.
as a pitcher?
A lot of times he does that, especially when he tries to elevate a fastball up.
2-1.
At times doesn't necessarily even follow through on his delivery. But what he's been able to do by recoiling like that, he's still able to get his arm in a proper slot to be able to stay in the strike zone.
2-1 to Trout. Fouled off to the right, 2-2. Still gets pretty good movement on his pitches as well.
Now you would think, though, because of what he does on the mound as far as recoiling, he'd be susceptible to bunts. He's got good balance, but not exactly a follow-through. Stands straight up as he delivers the baseball.
All right, there's almost a move back towards second base right after delivery of the baseball.
Yeah, there hasn't been many pitchers that have been successful throwing strikes like that.
Full count. Yeah, as a matter of fact, when you're talking to young kids, as they get older and older, it's like that's the last thing you want them to do, because you want to try to avoid shoulder problems.
And you want to follow through in your arm, almost like you're going to reach out and grab some dirt on the mound when you follow through on your delivery.
Here's the payoff pitch. Trout. This guy's went down the line, tailing toward the seats.
Now, when you watch like C.J. Wilson last night, when he followed through with his slider or fastball down, it's very good. But when he wants to go upstairs, he does the same thing, in which he recoils on his fastball to manipulate to make sure the fastball stays up and above the letters. But Bartolo Colon does that a majority of his pitches. Yet he's still able to get a lot of ground ball outs and keep the ball in the ballpark.
Another payoff pitch. Trout lines one to right. Reddick going back on it. Still moving back. Reaches up and he makes a spectacular catch to rob Trout of extra bases. Boy, that ball had some carry on it, and Reddick making a heck of a play for the first out.
2 baseballs that Trout has hit right on the nose that Reddick has run down in the game so far. Well, at the last second, does not take his eye off the baseball, leaps up and makes a play just in front of the wall. If he doesn't make that play, that's off the wall, and that's at least a triple for Trout. Very good defender, Reddick is.
Yep.
Great arm also.
Whereas Trout was getting a lot of pitches away, Pujols saw a lot of pitches in his first at bat, resulting in a ground down to third. Albert 0 for 1. Mike now 0 for 2 of those 2 fly balls out to right. Albert skies this one toward left center field. Chris Young moving over. 2 outs.
Now here's today's Coors Light Cold Hard Fact. Josh Hamilton, certainly a key to the Angels' success. 19-1 the Angels are in the last 20 games when Hamilton has an RBI, and he has an RBI in each of the first 2 games of this series. Sac fly last night, double game 1. The Cold Hard Fact is brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light.
6 fly ball outs for Bartolo Colon so far. 2 outs here in the fourth. Hamilton swings through the first one. Josh 0 for 1. Skied one out to center field in the second inning.
Hamilton just 1 for 9 in his career versus Colon. You would think, because a lot of the fastballs that Colon throws, it would be a good matchup for Hamilton. 50 pitches thrown from Colon, 30 in the strike zone.
1 and 2.
And there's not a lot of deception in the delivery from Bartolo Colon. You can almost see it all the way through as a hitter. Starts on that first base side of the pitching rubber. Not a lot of movement, almost like Joe Blanton.
Fouled back. Still in the ball and 2 strikes. Halos had a couple of base runners in the third inning. Iannetta with a single with one out. And Ibar worked the walk, but Colon induced the double play off the bat of J.B. Shuck. He's been in so far for the Angels. 2-2 now. Two. Called strike three, and he got him with that fastball on the inside corner. Second strikeout for Colon. We're through 4 here at the Big A. Angels still down 2-0.
Jerome, when he gets on top with his fastball and cut fastball, have been very effective. And that one in the Donaldson inside part of the plate, down and away against Reddick. A hard breaking ball gets Chris Young. 4 strikeouts in the game so far for Jerome Williams through 4 innings.
64 pitches thrown by Williams. Has 1 walk to go with those 4 punch outs. They'll face 9-1-2 here in the 5th for Oakland. Sogard, Crisp, Smith. 0-1 count. Sogard with 3 hits in the series in his 2 starts. Home run he hit in the 3rd, his 2nd of the year. Bounces this one back toward the middle. Ibar to his left, can't get it. He did that slide that just went off his glove. And it's an infield, pardon me, a base hit through the infield. Puts the leadoff man on board to make that 4 hits for Sogard.
When he's putting the ball in play, it's going to be a difficult play anyhow for Ibar, once, especially when he goes in that slide. Even with his strong arm, going to be very difficult to throw Sogard out at first. Now 9 for 20 this year against the Angels.
Coco Crisp at the plate, the DH today. A walk and a ground out. He's 0 for 1. Sogard with 7 stolen bases on the year, has been caught 4 times. Bunt up the third base line. Callaspo was playing back and now fires it away. That will more than likely lead to a run. Crisp will round second. He will head to third because there's nobody at third. 3-0 Oakland. A bunt base hit for Crisp. No RBI and an error on Callaspo's 11th of the year.
Well, it's one of those plays too. You want to make a great play, but there's no chance you're throwing out Coco Crisp at first base. Perfect bunt. One of those plays you just eat the baseball. No need to make the throw. Especially Howie trying to get to the base, and they have to try to plant and then jump back and knock that baseball down. And gets away. Sogard's going to score easily. But then with no one at third base, Coco Crisp reads that. Mike Gallego, the third base coach, right away is pointing to third base for him to be in that position. No one there to cover him.
So back-to-back hits. Now the error. Infield in. Here's Seth Smith. Takes outside. Smith 0 for 2, a ground down and a strikeout.
See, on a play like that, there's two people that have to be in position to be at third base. You have to have Jerome, because you're in between home and third, and then J.B. Shuck in left field's got to fold his way in towards that third base bag. A long way to go for him, but you need some coverage there at third base.
2 balls and no strikes. 70th error committed by the Angels this year. 3-0 Oakland as we play here in the 5th. Still looking for that first down here in the inning. This pitch in underneath the hands of Smith, 2-1.
Sogard doing some damage in this game. A 2-run home run. Base hit to start off the inning and scores a run.
This one fouled off the left. 2-2. Jet Lowry, the shortstop, is on deck. 71 pitches thrown by Williams. 2-2 on the way. Bouncer to first. It'll hold the runner. 1 out. Nice pitch by Jerome. Hey folks, we're here at Fox Sports West. We're offering a special discount to our viewers on Angels tickets for tomorrow's game with our Fox Sports West ticket takeover. Just log on to angels.com/FSWest during the broadcast and enter the promo code FSWest. You can save up to 50% on these select tickets while supplies last. Of course, all Ticketmaster fees do apply. Hurry and log on now. These tickets will sell out fast. So the Twins rolling into town for the first of 3 is going to intentionally walk Jet Lowry here with Josh Donaldson, the cleanup hitter, on deck.
Thought process is on that one to be able to get a double play ball. Donaldson has rolled into 10 double plays this year.
Lowry will remain 0 for 2. The fly balls to center field. Now the intentional walk. And here comes ball 4. So runners at the corners. Donaldson coming to the plate. Oakland third baseman is 0 for 2. A fly ball to right and a strikeout.
And most times, I always felt as a pitcher that first pitch is a good idea to run inside, try to jam a batter, right-handed batter. But I think Donaldson is looking in this time. Jerome got him swinging on a fastball up and in. Not a bad idea to throw a cut fastball or slider down and away, see if you can get him to roll one over to Eric Ibar at shortstop.
Crisp with good speed stands at third. Lowry with decent speed stands at first. 1 out. The first one to Donaldson. It's popped up left side of the infield. Callaspo near the bag. 2 outs.
Stay focused. If you're Jerome, you get a big out, a couple big outs so far in this inning after Chris got the third on that throwing over from Callaspo. Remain focused, get through this inning, limit the damage.
It'll be Brandon Moss, the first baseman, stepping in now. 1 for 2, singled in the 4th. Jerome made a pretty good pitch on him in that 4th inning and fought it off to flare the single out to left center. Howie out in shallow right once again. So Ibar has coverage at second base. First pitch, lined out to left field. That'll fall for a base hit. 4-0 Oakland. Moss picks up his 45th run batted in. Two-hit game now for Brandon Moss. 7th hit collected by Oakland.
Moss has just had some quality at bats against the Angels, who had his career, and certainly this season, his 14th hit in 34 at bats, 13 RBI now this season alone against the Angels.
John Jaso will step in. 2 outs, 2 on. The ball's into dirt. Base runners will advance on a wild pitch. I know, tried to backhand that one. So second and third now. The 1-0 count on Jason. Mike Butcher's going to come out and pay a visit.
That's one of those ones you try to square around your body to keep that in front of you. When you have your wrist turned like that with the catch mid, it's very difficult to keep that in front of you and not get away from you.
Some scrambling going on in the Angels bullpen.
The discussion right here may be, do you want to face Jaso, or you go after Reddick, who's on deck? You have an open base. You pitch around him and go after Reddick.
Jared Richards begins to warm up. Two runs in for the A's. They lead it 4-0 here in the 5th. 2 outs. 1-0 pitch. Side, 2 balls, no strikes. Jason 1 for 2, a ground out and a single. Caught the corner for a strike. Very similar to the pitch in which Jaso served out to left field in the 4th inning for his base hit.
Yeah, if you're going to pitch him away, J.B. Shuck has to be prepared to come in on a baseball.
Lowry at third, Moss at second. In the air to center. Trout in a couple of steps, and he comes to an end. Oakland tacks on 2 runs. A couple of hits, 1 big error. Right to the bottom of the 5th inning, Angels trailing 4-0. On Tuesday, when the Halos take on the Minnesota Twins, log on now to foxsportswest.com/CarMax to sign up for your complimentary parking and schedule your vehicle appraisal. Hurry, space is limited. 4-0 Oakland, bottom of the 5th inning. Kendrick Trumbo at Cayaspa trying to figure out Bartolo Colon. He's working on a one-hitter, has a couple of strikeouts, 1 walk. Base hit, owned by Chris Iannetta with 1 out in the 3rd inning. 1 earned, 1 unearned for Jerome in that 5th inning. First one to Howie. He's in there for a strike. Kendrick 0 for 1, struck out in the 2nd. First time since July the 7th, which Oakland has scored more than 3 runs in a game. Picked up 7 hits so far. Howie fouls it down the line. Out of play. It's an 0-2 count. The Twins are rolling into town for a 3-game set beginning tomorrow night. Joe Blanton getting the start tomorrow. Tommy Hanson on Tuesday, Jared Weaver on Wednesday. Wednesday games are day games, 2-night games, and a 12:35 start on Wednesday. Business person special on Wednesday.
And try to come back and bounce back after that tough outing in Seattle before the All-Star break. So we'll see Tommy Hanson coming back on Tuesday.
0-2, bouncer to short. Now he's there. Wow. Since the walk to Eric Ibar with 1 out in the 3rd inning, Colon is retired. Innings 5 in a row. And upsets Mark Trumbo, grounded out to the second baseman Sogard. First time up.
That's one thing you have to do against Colon. You get a bunch hits together. He doesn't walk many. You mentioned that 1 walk. This is his 16th walk of the season in over 130 innings pitched.
Off-speed pitch. That's 1 ball, no strikes. 4 runs, 7 hits, 5 left on for the Athletics. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on for the Angels. Two and 0. And you knew it was going to be a tough task today with Bartolo on the mound. He's thrown the ball so well all season long. Very consistent. He's found his groove over the last couple of years, that's for sure.
Just realizing he lets his defense makes the plays behind him.
Trumbo pops it up behind the plate. Chase Hill gets rid of the mask. 2 outs.
Well, for a while there, Bartolo was the guy that was thinking in terms of trying to get strikeouts. Now his thought process is use his defense, throw strikes, don't give any free passes for the base on balls, and just make the opponent hit the ball on the ground.
Two outs, nobody on for Alberto Cayaspo. Fly ball to shallow center, leading off the 3rd, so he's 0 for 1. Looks at a strike. Oakland in the top of the 6th inning will have the bottom 3rd of their order coming up against Jerome, Redding, Young, and Sogard. 1 ball and strike. A couple of other scores around Major League Baseball. Tampa Bay won yet again. They defeated Toronto 4-3. Swept that series. White Sox over Atlanta 3-1. Seattle leading Houston 12-1. 2 balls and a strike on Cayaspa. That game in Houston is in the 8th inning. Detroit took the finale of that set against Kansas City 4-1. Cleveland defeated Minnesota 7-1. Baltimore, Texas, New York at Boston later on. 3-1 now. Chris Iannetta on deck. 3-1 pitch. Strike, full count. Oakland with 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th, lead at 4-0. 3-2. Aspo This one foul down the line and into the seats.
67 pitches thrown. 41 strikes. Still a lot of fastballs, but a lot of movement on the fastball. Changed the speed with his fastball from 86 to 91 today.
This one's lined towards second. Sogard has it, and the Angels go down in order. 5 in the book, still 4-0 Oakland.
Coors Light freeze can. Jerome, when he stays on top of the baseball, very effective on top, be able to snap his breaking ball to get Chris Young to swing and miss at a pitch down in the strike zone. So important to be able to have that baseball and get on top, be able to release point for Jerome Williams. And that freeze can was brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light.
4 runs, 3 earned for Jerome through 5 innings. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. 1 was intentional, and 7 hits allowed. Facing Josh Reddick, Chris Young, and Eric Sogard here in the 6th inning. Breaking ball misses low. 83rd pitch of the afternoon for Williams. Reddick, the right fielder, 0 for 2. Grounded to third in the 2nd inning. Struck out in the 4th. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, just like we just showed that last pitch on the freeze cam of getting on top of the baseball, now Jerome has got underneath back-to-back pitches. 2 pitches out of the strike zone for him.
3-0. Reddick taking 2 last pitches. 3 balls and 1 strike. On the corner. Full count. Hennekes was taking a step up the first base line. We haven't seen too many of those pitches called strikes today, though. Scuccione.
See if this pitch indeed caught the outside corner, and it didn't. Off the outside corner.
There's the payoff. He'll bounce it down the line. That's a fair ball with the overshift. Possible extra bases. Shuck over to cut it off. Reddick will slam on the brakes. Leads off the 6th inning with a single. Nice job by J.B. Shuck to hustle in.
Well, remember early in the game we showed Jerome Williams talking with Mike Butcher about how the hitters were diving out over the plate. Well, all of a sudden you're seeing that once again, and they're not necessarily hitting the ball hard, but they're looking away and they're serving the baseball into left field. The left-handed batters are. And Reddick with good speed, thinking he had a double right away, but then sees that Shuck charged that baseball well, and has got a good throwing arm. Stops at first base.
Garrett Richards back up and loosening it once again. Young takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Chris Young, the center fielder today, doubled leading off the third. Came around to score on the Sogard home run. Then struck out in the fourth. Jerome almost fires that one away. Nice play by Trumbo. Get around Reddick to make the catch.
That's not easy, especially when the runner's going back to the base standing up. He'll reach around and catch that baseball. Boy, Jerome has faced 26 batters in this game. Only 13 of them has he thrown first pitch strike. Now behind in the count, 2-0. Fifth time in this game for Jerome. He's been behind in the count, 2-0, which certainly gives a huge advantage to a hitter.
Three balls, no strikes. Back-to-back hitters in which he's gone to that count. .30 pitch and a 4-pitch walk. Second straight inning. And 3 of the last 4, which the first 2 guys have reached against Jerome, and that's going to be it for Williams. 92 pitches today. Garrett Richards will be coming into the ball game. We got ourselves a pitching change here in the 6th. 2 on with nobody out, and Oakland on top 4-0.
Get a Jack in the Box near you with Jack's new Big Stack Burger. And by Chase. Manage your account on the go whenever and wherever you want. The Chase mobile app, so you can.
We welcome you back out to the Big A. 4-0. Oakland's on top. First 2 guys have reached against Jerome Williams here in the 6th inning, and you will watch as Garrett Richards takes over here in the 6th. 92 pitches, 5 innings plus 2 batters, 4 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts today.
Yeah, and Victor, I think the big thing with Jerome was the fact that we talked about how his wrist was going down in this part. What this does, when your wrist is this point, it's going to create that type of movement. When Jerome is good, he's on top of the baseball, then he's able to work down in that sink action down instead of lateral movement. Wrist turn this way does not allow him to be able to hit the spots in the strike zone and work down and get those ground ball outs.
The change has not occurred for him, though, over the last now 4 starts for him.
And you wonder, he's almost like he's trying to force velocity. That creates that action on his wrist where it's going to be middle part of the plate. You want to stay on top and then work down.
He's responsible for the 2 guys on base. Reddick at second, Young at first. It's our in and out, who's in, who's out. Garrett Richards takes over on the mound. Garrett so far this year has pitched in 32 games. 2-4 mark, a 4.87 ERA, 64 and 2/3 innings, 68 hits, 45 strikeouts. Facing Eric Sogard, 2 for 2, 2-run home run in the third. Singled off the glove of Ibar, leading off the fifth, and eventually came around to score. Now was on that throwing error by Callaspo. Alberto playing in on the grass. Trumbo doing the same at first. Not bunting, and it's ball one.
We've seen a couple games with Sogard up in a situation where you would think he's going to be bunting. Bob Melvin, a lot of confidence in Sogard to make good contact, and certainly has in this series and in this game. 4 for 6, 2 for 2 in the game.
Two balls and no strikes. Two and one. Last outing for Richards was a week ago Friday. He came on in place of Jerome. 3 2/3 in Allen, gave up a couple of runs on 3 hits, struck out 5 against Seattle. Sogard fouls it back 2-2.
Only certain teams batters just have success against. You really, it's tough to explain. Sogard has seen the ball well against the Angels and had some good hacks, especially this season alone. 9 hits and 20 at bats.
Time is called as Garrett was coming set. Just got a piece of it. Calamade, 2-2. 8 hits for the A's. Sogard, the 9th place hitter. That's the leadoff man, Coco Crisp, DH today, on deck. They're looking for that first down here in the 6th inning. Breaking pitch, got him looking. Sogard do it, 1 out.
And that's the pitch. If Garrett Richards can establish and throw his breaking ball for a strike, that makes his fastball that much better. Good over the hand breaking ball, 12-6 break on that curveball right in the middle part of the plate, and freezes Sogard. Most hitters just think in terms of I'm looking fastball against Richards because he hasn't shown that he can consistently throw that breaking ball, whether it's a slider or curveball, for a strike.
1 out, runner still at first and second. Crisp with a walk, a ground out, and a single. Runners go. The throw goes to third base. Callaspo can't come up with it. Gets away from him. Reddick comes on home, and it is 5-0 Athletics. Be a stolen base for Reddick and an error on Chris Inett, I would imagine.
And an accurate throw, and they might have Reddick at third base. Callaspo had to play in initially because of the threat of a bunt from Coco Crisp to get back to the base.
Second error of the game for the Angels. And a 2-ball, no strike count now on Richards. For Inett, that's his 5th error of the year. Young standing at third base. He too got credit for a stolen base. 2-1. A lot of favorable counts today for Oakland A's hitters.
I remember talking about coming into the series how you could be successful. Even yesterday, talking with CJ taking the hill, to be successful against Oakland, you have to establish that first pitch strike, especially with your fastball or break a ball. If you're comfortable with it, then you expand the strike zone against them. They will chase, but they do not chase when they're ahead of the count.
Two balls, two strikes with one out, men at third. Infield in. Bouncer toward first. Young is coming home. Trumbo still nowhere near the plate. Crisp will head to second. 6-0 Oakland. Third error of the game for the Angels.
Young going on contact. Right decision by Trumbo to go home. The throw is too quick. And we get the good footwork going, and a low throw gets by Iannetta and allows Chris Young to score.
Fielder's choice, RBI for Crisp, an error on Trumbo, his 6th of the year. This game has gotten ugly defensively for the Angels. Still one out. Smith looks at a strike. Smith getting to start out in left field. 0 for 3 today. A couple of ground outs and a strikeout. One thing that Oakland certainly has done today, they've pushed the envelope on the base paths, trying to create things, and it's worked to their advantage today.
Yeah, we talked about Oakland being patient, and that's part of their Moneyball theory, but they're definitely different as far as what they do on the bases now. They're very aggressive. They will steal bases. They will sacrifice bunt. Melvin has them creating opportunities to score. They don't have a lot of power threats necessarily in their lineup, but they have guys that can produce and get the job done.
Richards fires that into right center field, and it's not an error. Coco Crisp does not advance.
We tried a quick pickoff, and Ibar pretending that he caught the baseball, deked Coco Crisp pretty well and kept him at second base. Otherwise, that would be the 4th error of the game for the Angels.
We talked about how difficult it is for Garrett to spin around and throw to second base because of that closed motion, much like he throws to home plate across his body, does the same to second.
You can see most times as a pitcher, you want to step towards second base. This is exactly what you want to do. We were talking about as far as coming around and making the throw to second base for, you want to go right here, and he ended up stepping across his body, which blocks off his throw towards the base.
0-1 pitch. No balls and 2 strikes. We're just talking about Oakland pushing the envelope today on the base paths. They had to try to create something. The struggles they've had with men in scoring position and scoring runs in general of late, even though they picked up some wins going into the All-Star break. But in this series, 1 for 11 with men in scoring position. They pushed the envelope to the tune of 6 runs overall. And it's a team that has gone 2 for 11 today with men in scoring position. Smith goes down swinging, so the Angels defense certainly has helped out Oakland in this one as Garrett picks up the second out of the inning.
And when you look at this game for Oakland, they really only squared up one baseball very well, and that was Sogard with his 2-run home run. Even Young, who had a double before the home run, was off the end of the bat down the right field. So they worked their way into position to score these runs. And credit Bob Melvin for having this team be that aggressive.
Sometimes you just got to take the chance, create something, see if it works to your advantage. There's Jed Lowry. Intentionally walked the last time up. Takes upstairs. Lowry 0 for 2. A couple of fly balls to center. One ball, one strike. Five earned runs allowed by Jerome. 6 given up today. 22 earned runs for Williams over his last 4 starts. 1-1 pitch. Lowry takes a strike, 1-2. That's over 13 innings of work.
Yeah, that certainly concerns you. The talk was because he had to bounce back so quickly in a number of those starts. Well, he was in pretty much a normal routine today, Jerome was.
It's bounce foul. So the count remains at a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I firmly believe Jerome is best suited with his fastball 90-91. When he tries to hump up at 93-94, fastball flattens out a little bit more for him.
Lowry rolling over the breaking pitch, so the count remains at 1-2 still. 2 in the third, 2 in the fifth, 2 so far here in the 6th inning for Oakland. Two and 2. Last 3-error game for the Angels was Saturday, July the 6th. That was against the Red Sox. Halos overcame that. Beat Boston 9-7. It was an extra innings. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Spin move, the second. Coco Crisp not going anywhere. Two. Lowry pulls one over to first. Trumbo will take it himself. This inning comes to an end. 2 runs in for the Athletics. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. They lead at 6-0. Cologne working on a one-hitter. They'll face 8-9-1 for the Angels. Iannetta, Ibar, and Shuck.
Most wins in 1 year in Angel history. Nolan Ryan with 22, Clyde Wright with 22, and Bartolo Colon, a 21-game winner in his Cy Young year. Having an outstanding season again this year.
12-3 coming into this one. 2.70 ERA. Iannetta hits one out to center field. He's had both hits today. 2 for 2. Leadoff man on board for the Angels. Brings up Eric Ibar.
This fastball away, and a good approach once again from Iannetta. Both hits up the middle. Last time jammed it up the middle, but this one hit well to left center field.
Ibar drew a walk into third. Official at bat for him. The only base on balls issued by Colon as Eric fouls it off.
Brandon Moss playing behind Iannetta. First pitch he was holding him on. Kind of staying in the area. That's not a bad opportunity for Ibar to be able to drag a bunt down the first base line now either.
Number back to Colon, fires to second base. Lowry is there, and they only get the one out at second. So Ibar, first base on the fielder's choice. J.B. Shuck coming up. We'll go back and revisit our Hyundai key to the game.
We're talking about ride the wind, have the momentum going. The first two outstanding, well-pitched performances by the Angels, the entire staff. One unearned run in 18 innings, but this game, it's been the other way around. The A's have thrown the ball very well and capitalized on some mistakes made by the Halos in this game. Still some opportunity to come back. You need some base runners quickly.
Colon's just thrown 72 pitches, 5 1/3. Delivers a strike on Shuck. JB 0 for 2 with a fly ball to left and a double play ball in the third. Popped up, shallow left. Seth Smith comes in, puts it away, 2 outs. And folks, on Saturday, Corona Life presents Kenny Chesney's No Shoes Nation Tour, starring Kenny Chesney, Eric Church, Eli Young Band, and Casey Musgraves. Suite rentals still available. Reserve your suite. Just log on at angels.com/Chesney today. Two outs and a man at first. Mike Trout at the plate. Mike's goal in this plate appearance is not to hit Josh Reddick in right field. Two fine plays defensively. The last one especially robbing Trout of potential extra bases. Trout fouls it off to the right.
Trout 0 for 2 in this game, but has hit the ball very well both times to right field, and Reddick, especially the last at bat, made an outstanding play going back. A fly ball hit by Trout.
One ball, one strike on Trout. 48 strikes for Bartolo out of the 76 that he was thrown today. 2 punch outs, 1 walk, 2 hits. Ibar with a good lead at first. 2-1.
And right now, if you Mike Trout, you got to look for a fastball away. The fastball, the pitch before that slider was for show inside.
Trout can't believe that was called a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
Either a changeup or a backup slider, not allowed to break to it. Jaso setting up away and gets the upper part of the strike zone. Mislocation by a lot, though.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ibar standing at first. Pujols on deck. Off-speed pitch. This is down and in. Full count. Ibar will take off for the next pitch.
3 straight off-speed pitches against Trout in this at bat.
Ibar takes off, the 3-2. That's a called strike 3 on the outside corner with a fastball. And the inning comes to an end. 6 complete here at the Big A. 6-0 Oakland.
Angels baseball is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. And by El Pollo Loco. Crazy you can taste.
Top of the 7th here at Angel Stadium. Oakland on top by the score of 6-0. Overcast skies throughout the day here, and it has not been pretty for the Angels, not only from a weather standpoint, but just overall. Bartolo Colon has been spectacular. Just 2 hits allowed, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. Angels have had 1 man reach scoring position. That was Chris Iannetta back into 3rd, and that has been all for the Angels. Eric Richards back out on the mound. Has 1 inning under his belt. In relief of Jerome in the 6th inning. He'll face Donaldson, Moss, and Jaso for Oakland here in the 7th. Donaldson today 0 for 3. A couple of fly ball outs and a strikeout. It's in for a strike. Donaldson 1 for 11 in the series.
The Angels have made some pretty good pitches to Donaldson so far. Fastballs in and up, and then the hard sliders away.
1-2. Fastball there. You don't see too often the old closed stance for a batter. Donaldson has one that's slightly closed.
Remember Joe Rudy used to have that stance. Former Angel and A.
Ground ball to the right side. Kendrick with a dive. Picks up. Fires to first. 1 out.
A great range by Howie to make a play there. Into the outfield grass once again. Second ground ball. He's at a field in the outfield grass. Good range, dives. It's up. Donaldson runs well. Strong throw to the first. Picks up a big chunk of that outfield grass also.
He replaced the divot. Barney's happy.
Oh, yeah. Especially after a concert last night out in that outfield grass.
Brandon Moss with a couple of hits today. 2 for 3. Picked up an RBI in the 5th inning. 45th of the year. Two balls, no strikes. Jerome Williams today with 5 innings plus 2 batters, 8 hits, including a home run to Sogard, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 6 runs, 5 earned. Moss chops it foul, 2-1. Halos will have their hands full over the last 3 innings against this Oakland A's pitching staff, tops the American League. Staff ERA 3.62, and their bullpen very, very good. If Bob Melvin decides to take Cologne out early, doesn't get any easier.
A lot of power arms out of their bullpen.
2-1. This is looped down toward left center. It's a 3-hit game for Brandon Moss.
Take a look at our Carl's Jr. Sports Update around the majors. Aces are wild. Kershaw wins a game for the Dodgers today. Wainwright for the Cardinals. Matt Harvey dealing 7 shutout innings with 10 punch outs for the Mets. The Brooms are out, and a couple teams end up sweeping their series. Tampa Bay, the Dodgers, the Tigers, Cardinals. A couple of teams avoided those sweeps right out of the get-go in the second half.
Phil's got shut out today. Was that Cliff Lee, Matt Harvey deal?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just made sure I talked about Matt Harvey.
I saw your slumping shoulders. 1-0 to Jaso. Bounces that one off his ankle. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tries to walk it off. Jaso 1 for 3 today.
Jaso trying to pull this pitch right off his ankle. That's going to hurt for a long time. He's trying to walk it off. That's when you throw a nice hard slider down and in, see if you get a ground ball to the right side of the infield.
Down and in. 2 balls and a strike. Not a very big lead for Moss at first. Jaso grounds with a second. Kendrick will feed Ivar for 1. Relay to first. Double play. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A. The Halos down 6-0.
It's been all Oakland scheme so far. Sogard, 2-run home run in the third, and then the A's taking advantage of some mistakes made by the defense by the Halos. Score a run on that bunt attempt, stolen base off Reddick, and scores another run. The A's with 6 runs in this game. Bartolo Colon dealing through 6 innings of shutout baseball himself. There's 2 hits allowed for Bartolo Colon.
He's back out on the mound. 80 pitches thrown by him. He has been very, very dominant once again. Halos will set up 3, 4, and 5 here in the 7th.
Talk about consistency. Last 12 starts, 3 or fewer earned runs in each of those contests for Bartolo Colon.
Just 2 hits allowed by Bartolo. And Chris Iannetta is the proud owner of both of them. Albert 0 for 2. Ground down the fly ball to center. Two balls and no strikes. Albert drives one out to straightaway center field. Chris Young moving back at the warning track at the wall, leaps up and makes the grab. 1 out.
Chris Young timed that perfectly. Pitch right down the heart of the plate. When you're up 6-0, you can challenge a hitter even as good as Albert Pujols is when you're behind the count 2-0. And Young back to the wall, tracked it exceptionally well, and robs Pujols of a home run.
So 1 out, Noble to Yon for Josh Hamilton. Also 0 for 2 with a fly ball to center and a strikeout. Hamilton fouls it back.
Bartolo knew he got away with one there, and Chris Young picked him up by robbing Pujols of a home run.
One. Hamilton just got a piece of it, fouls it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2. Hamilton lifts one out to center. Young in a couple of steps. 2 outs. MLB.TV celebrates 11 years. Catch all of the second half action in HD quality. Watch every out-of-market game live on more than 350 mobile and connected devices. Just visit MLB.TV today. It's baseball everywhere.
11 fly ball outs for Colon in the game.
One ball, no strikes. Now he 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Angels have action in their bullpen. Michael Kahn was warming. Ground ball towards short. Lowry has it off balance throw. Dug out by Moss. The Angels go down in order. 7 in the books. Still 6-0 Oakland.
into the series. What did Hank Conger do on his All-Star break? The folks at home said laundry by a huge margin, I should say, 67% of the vote. But what did Hank do over the All-Star break?
My favorite thing to do over the All-Star break was lay out, get some rays, get a nice base tan, get everything flowing.
That's Hank Conger in his own words. That'll be a special on Fox Sports West too.
Let's break that all down, I'm sure.
6-0. Oakland's on top here in the 8th inning.
That was outstanding.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. It's a good thing he kept a straight face, too.
Yes.
Michael Kahn takes over on the mound for Garrett Richards, who pitched 2 scoreless innings of relief. Kahn to face the bottom third of the order. 33rd game for Michael, 1-0 mark and a 2.54 ERA. Josh Reddick takes upstairs for a moment.
You doing okay?
Oh, man. Reddick hooks one foul, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. At least Hank was working on the base tan.
Yeah, that's important.
Got to get everything flowing. Heading out of the All-Star break into the second half.
That's a 4-day All-Star break too. That's good.
2 balls and a strike on Reddick. 1 for 3 today. A single with the run scored to the 6th. Second hit for Reddick in the series. Three balls and 1 strike. And unfortunately for the Angels, that's been kind of the story of this game. A lot of deep counts, a lot of favorable hitters counts, and Oakland has taken advantage of it. 9 hits today. Sogard got the scoring started back in the 3rd with a 2-run home run. Oakland put 2 runs in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Reddick takes a big rip there, comes up empty, it's a full count.
And we get to see Oakland in Oakland for a 4-game series after that 3-game set against the Twins here at home. And clearly that's the mindset they tried to get back to in this game, get into favorable hitters counts. And that's the mindset you have to have as a pitcher going against them, is I have to throw first pitch strike. And then they will chase pitches out of the strike zone. Otherwise, they're very, very patient at the plate.
Chris Young on deck. Here's a 3-2. Reddick takes a called strike 3. He thought he had himself a walk yet again. First down here in the 8th.
See if this pitch catches the corner, and it does. That's 5 strikeouts in this series for Reddick against the Angels.
Young 1 for 2, getting to start out at center. Doubled just ahead of Sogard's home run in the 3rd inning. He struck out and has also walked. Out to shallow center. Ibar and Kendrick. It's Howie with the call and the catch. 2 outs. Stick around after the last out. Angels live post game presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers coming up after the ball game. Two outs, nobody on for Eric Sogard. A couple of hits for him today. He's had a very good series.
We have 4 hits for Sogard in the series. 2 in the first game and 2 in this game, including a 2-run home run.
1-2 count.
Sogard takes a pretty healthy hack.
Yeah, does not get cheated. Swing and a miss. Down he goes, and Cobb with a 1-2-3-8. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. The Angels down 6-0. I think a couple of hits, that's all the Angels have mustered against Bartolo Colon. Chris Iannetta has both of them. Down 6-0. Trumbo for 2 with a ground out and a pop-up. Howard delivers a strike. Bartolo with 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, and those 2 hits allowed. .91 pitches for the right-hander. One ball, 1 strike. Cobb done after 1 inning. A 1-2-3-8 as Michael Roth, lefty, gets ready for the Angels. He'll be pitching tonight. Get the relievers some work in. Trumbo fouls it off, 1-2. Matter of fact, you look at Oakland. That Sonny Gray pitched 2 innings on Friday. He was optioned back down to the minor leagues. Blevins faced 1 batter. Neshek 1 inning. And then last night, Doolittle 1 inning. So their relievers haven't seen a whole lot of work, which I guess is good in that their starters working deep in the game. But it's coming off the 4-day All-Star break.
Yeah, it's not a bad opportunity to be able to rest your bullpen because Bob Melvin certainly uses the bullpen for Oakland.
Trumbo takes a called strike 3. Chris Guccione's corners have opened up late in the game. They're down number 1.
Fastball upper part of the strike zone. So brings it back, but it did catch the upper part.
Early on in this game, those corners weren't being called for either side. Callasco's 0 for 2. Fly ball to center, the line out to second base. 1 for 8 in the series. Pulls this one foul just in front of Alfredo. 1 ball, 2 strikes. First start of the year for Bartolo against the Angels. He has been as advertised, unfortunately for the Halos.
A lot of strikes. Good tempo for him.
Count remains at 1-2. Bartolo with 1 complete game this year. There's a win against the White Sox at the Coliseum on May 31st. Shutout for him with 106 pitches. Allowed 5 hits. His low hit game this year, prior to this one, 3. And that twice against the Yankees and at Boston at Fenway Park. Malone hoops one out to, Teoscar hoops one out to left. 2 outs.
Bartolo's 6-0 against the AL West this season with an ERA 2.68 coming into this game. You could argue the best division in baseball. He's doing exceptionally well against this division.
Iannetta bounces one back to the mound. He had been 2 for 2. Colon throws him out. The Angels go down in order here in the 8th. We'll head to the 9th here at the Big A. And the Halos still trailing at 6-0. Champion Demetrius Johnson puts his title on the line against top contender John Moraga, highlighting a full night of epic fights. Johnson's versus Moraga for the World Flyweight Championship. Fox UFC Saturdays live and free July 27th beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern. Top of the 9th here at Angel Stadium, 6-0 Oakland. Michael Roth takes over on the mound for Michael Kahn. Roth now pitching in his 14th big league game, 1 mark and an 8 ERA. 18 innings, 16 earned runs, and 17 strikeouts. He'll be facing the top of the order.
Roth fastball 86 to 89 range, curveball, slider, changeup. Good job by Michael Kahn once again. 2 punch outs in his inning.
Roth, the third reliever used. Jerome Williams got the start today. 5 innings plus 2 batters, 6 runs, 5 earned, 8 hits. Garrett Richards, 2 scoreless, and 2 strikeouts himself. And then Kahn, the 1 inning, 1-2-3-8, which he picked up those 2 strikeouts. Crisp, Smith, and Lowry for the Athletics. The A's do have action in their bullpen. Ryan Cook was warming up last inning. You wonder if Bartolo comes out, try to finish it off, or Bob Melvin hands the ball off.
Always difficult to get a baseball out of the hand of a guy that's had success closing out games like Bartolo Colon if you're Bob Melvin.
no longer Ryan Cook. Jesse Chavez getting ready. Coco swings through the first one. It is an 0-1 count. Crisp is 1 for 3 as the DH today. Single back in the 5th inning. Picked up an RBI on a fielder's choice in the 6th inning. He's also walked. Two balls and 1 strike. Roth last pitched a week ago Friday, and had Williams start against Seattle at Safeco. 2-2 now.
You wonder if Bartolo Colon's going to take the mound in the 9th. Guessing he's not going to do so.
This one fouled into the seats on the first base side. Count remains at 2-2. $37,441 here today. It crowds all weekend long. 43,515 Friday, 43,572 last night. 37 plus here today. See Chavez getting ready. Three-2. Coco loops one out to left field. J.B. Shuck comes running in, slides and makes a nice catch. 1 out.
Back-to-back games, good sliding catches for J.B. Shuck in left field. Gets this baseball just before it hits the outfield grass, getting the first out of the inning.
It'll bring up Seth Smith. Smith 0 for 4. A couple of strikeouts, a couple of ground outs. Got to start today in left field. Looks to strike. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 6 left on for the Athletics. No runs, 2 hits, 3 errors, and 2 left on for the Angels. One ball, 1 strike. Halos in the 9th will have Ibar, Shuck, and Trout. They've been able to put some crooked numbers on the board in the 9th inning.
A lot of good comebacks, especially here at home, late in games.
1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Minnesota Twins rolling in town for the first of 3. Beginning tomorrow night. 7:05 first pitch. Joe Blanton will be on the hill. Tommy Hanson will get the start on Tuesday, and then Jared Weaver on Wednesday. Smith skies one out to right center. Mike Trout moving over. 2 outs. Been a while since we faced the Minnesota Twins. Halos will have a makeup game.
I was going to say, remember that snow and rain?
Yeah, it was chilly. Target field.
Yeah. Certainly didn't go out there with short sleeve shirts on there in Minnesota when we went there last time around.
Going back there in September.
Before we go about Toronto.
Yeah. You know, the old Toronto, Houston, Oakland trip.
All real close to each other.
Yeah. That one's the second weird one. The first one being, you know, the traditional Seattle, Tampa, Milwaukee back home, which makes sense as well.
Difficult travel these last few months, trying to make up ground.
Two balls and a strike on Jed Lowrie. 0 for 3. Pulled foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, this Oakland club is a pretty interesting team when you think about it. A lot of interchangeable parts. Bob Melvin has a situation set up platoon type players. Guys biting into that whole team concept. And they've played well, considering their batting average not necessarily great at 243 coming in as a team. We've seen how they're able to manufacture runs today.
They do it late as well in games.
And then when they get a lead, they hold on to a lead. Their pitching staff's outstanding, #1 in the American League. Their bullpen dominant also.
Two balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the 9th. Ryan Cook is back up and warming now for Oakland. Job is perhaps just getting some work in. Two. Now back. John Jason's ready to go back out for the bottom of the 9th.
Going old school to sleep, mask on.
Yeah. Lowrie pops it up. Trumbo into foul territory. Makes the grab. The inning comes to an end. We will head to the bottom of the 9th inning with the Halos down 6-0. He'll be facing 9-1-2. Ibar, Shuck, and Trout. Cook ready to go just in case. Bartolo has been casually making it look easy. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 2 hits allowed. Ibar looks to strike. Another first pitch of the afternoon for Cologne. Ibar with a walk and a fielder's choice, 0 for 1. One ball, 1 strike. This one bounced over to first. Moss has it to the backhand, takes it himself, 1 down. Here's J.B. Shuck. 0 for 3 today. Trout will get an opportunity to try to extend his hitting streak, establish a new career high for him. 0 for 3 today. Halos won the series, but drop a game in the standings should the score stand. Go back to 10 games back in the West.
You always want to win series, but because when you put yourself in that situation, you almost need these occasional sweeps. Pick up 3 full games. An opportunity for Mike Scioscia's club to pick up 3 games against the A's instead. The A's pulled it together today. Great pitching by Bartolo Colon.
Chuck pulls it off the glove of Moss and into right field. Base hit for J.B. Shuck. And on with 1 out here in the 9th. And Trout will come up now.
Ball was hit extremely hard by Shuck. Moss tried to field that 1 hopper on the backhand, but by him in the right field for Shuck's base hit. It's the 3rd hit that Cologne has allowed in this game.
Trout with a couple of fly balls out to right field and a strikeout. 0 for 3. First one's in for a strike. 87 miles per hour.
Certainly not the 95, 96 we used to see out of Cologne, but a lot of movement on his fastball. 85, 88 range, occasional 91. The movement all over the place for Bartolo Colon today.
Sharply hit, back up the middle, and a base hit, a new hitting streak for Mike Trout. 13-game hitting streak in his last plate appearance here today, perhaps. We'll bring up Albert Pujols. And here comes Bob Melvin. We're going to see a pitching change. Ryan Cook ready to go, the USC product. So Bartolo Colon unable to get the complete game. 108 pitches for him. Or at least we think perhaps maybe Melvin doesn't make a move. Pujols due up, 0 for 3 today.
Once in a while, as a manager, you go out and see the answer that you might want to hear to give him a chance to finish it off, and he did so.
Yeah.
A lot of times, the manager will go out and say, hey, how do you feel? If you say great right away without any hesitation, he'll allow you to stay in the game.
Albert with a ground down and a couple of fly balls to center. Young robbed him. The home run last time up. First one is down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Albert, back-to-back hits by Shuck and Trout. Plants back to Shuck. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Albert gets it. Just foul. Not by much either. Down the line, and it's a 1-2 count now.
Bartolo trying to run that two-seam fastball inside, but this time Pujols was ready and just missed it that one down the line for a double.
Hamilton on deck. There's the 1-2. In the dirt. Nice block by Jason. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good speed on the bases for the Halos. Down 6-0 here in the ninth. 2-2. Albert takes 8 balls, strike 3. 2 down.
Two-seam fastball starting off the outside part of the plate, but then coming back and catching the upper part of the outside corner. 5th strikeout of the game for Colon. 4th looking today.
So the Halos down to the last out. There's Hamilton. First one fouled off to the left. Josh 0 for 3. A couple of fly balls to center and a strikeout. The punch out of Pujols, the 5th for Bartolo today. One ball, 1 strike. J.B. Shuck reaching second base. Just the second time today that the Angels have had a man in scoring position. The first was back in the 3rd.
Well, we said from the opening that it's going to be a tough task against Bartolo Colon. It certainly has been. It's 4 hits so far.
Hamilton lifts one out to shallow left. Seth Smith comes charging in. Makes the grab, and the Angels get shut out by Bartolo Colon by the final of 6-0.
Boy, that story of the game is the A's manufacture some runs. Or Sogard a 2-run home run, but Bartolo Colon, his 3rd shutout of the season, 12th of his career. The former Halo did it once again. 11 now career wins versus the Angels. 4 hits allowed, just 1 walk for Bartolo Colon. 5 strikeouts, 4 looking. Sogard with a 2-run home run, a couple of hits in the game. Brandon Moss, another big game against the Angels with 3 hits as the A's win 6-0. Williams with the loss, now 5-6. Bartolo Colon now 13-3 on the season. Stay tuned for Angels Live coming up next. Victor Rojas, Tim Salmon, Jimmy Maggio with the interviews in the clubhouse to find out about this game. A's win it 6-0.